Bandwidth for all shows on the Aussie Tech Heads network is supplied by Aussie Tech Heads web hosting. For a fast, affordable and reliable Australian server with fantastic support, contact Aussie Tech Heads web hosting at aussietechheads.com.au. Aussie Tech Heads, Australia's best hosting service.
Cut that out.
What is that vibrating in your pocket? It's the new episode of Aussie Tech Heads. That's right. It's episode 398. Welcome. Oh, look, we've got a rabble here tonight. So welcome everyone. It's another week of the show. So how is all going? It is brought to you by athwebhosting.com.au. Go there and find some nice little shared hosting plans for your enjoyment and wonderment at how we can bring them to you so affordable. They're cheap. Aussie servers. Good stuff. All right, we've got a big show tonight. And let's kick it off. Let's say we've got a special guest. He's on screen right now. Hi, Steve. We've seen him before, but not so bright. How you going, Steve?
Hello. Hello.
Now, less intelligent last time we met.
Yeah. Now, it looks like Steve's there sporting some sort of beanie and a big jumper. Where are you, Steve? You're in Sydney this week?
Central Coast, yeah.
Oh, right. She's cold.
Sunny Central Coast.
All right, cold up there as well. Well, there you go.
And it is cold.
Now, you've got something to show us in a minute. We'll come back to that in a sec. Let's go to Will. He's on tonight. How you going, Will?
How we doing, mate?
Good.
He's on something, right?
I'm always on something. It's just the depth that varies.
Oh, look, Will's in a t-shirt. Must be hot up there in sunny Ipswich. So it's all right up there, Will?
Oh, it's like it's about -1 or 2.
Oh,
yeah, it's not too bad.
Rubbish. And Warlock.
Serious. They're called -7 last night.
Am I here?
He is here, and he's
on. Hello.
coming from Sydney. And he's looking. You got some ice on that little
Beautiful
beard of
sunny
yours.
Sydney.
You got icicles
Beautiful
on that
sunny.
beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
My car did this morning.
Yeah.
Windscreen's
Gee,
got
that's
ice
no
on it
good.
every day nearly.
And well, I'm on the Gold Coast, obviously, and it is getting a bit cool. But that's enough of the weather. Australia's weather report. Let's go. What are we going to do now? What are we going to do?
Tune in again next week for more weather.
Look. I suppose. I don't know, Steve. Let's go and talk to Steve. What have you got to show us, Steve? You got something? You got a prop? You bought a prop in this week.
Show us your thing.
Is that my internet bad or someone else's?
He's.
This is the first.
I can't hear anyone hardly.
Oh, there we go.
There it
Hello?
is. Hang on. He's going to have to say something. Say something, Steve, so we get you back on the screen.
Hello.
Nope.
Hello.
Hasn't worked. Say, I am Steve and I am cold.
I am Steve and I am cold. Can
There you
hear?
are. There you are. Yes.
Ah, there we go. Hey, technology.
Took a while. Now, what have you got for us? You've got what is this? A pickaxe. That's a nice axe. That's
Yeah.
right. And what is this axe that you hold up in front of us?
And my axe.
The
Oh,
I think he needs a
this
new
is
internet.
the axe from. Oh no, is my internet dropping?
yeah. So what that is, what Steve brought in for us tonight was the axe from the Battle Hack. Now, I'm not sure his internet is playing up a little bit, or someone's internet is, but we'll try and come back to him in a sec. But look, while his internet picks up some speed, and hopefully it will as time goes on, we'll talk about another internet story, eh? Just for now, because there could be just someone downloading something illegally off his Wi-Fi. So New Zealand ISP.
Hackers.
Yeah, damn hackers.
They're battle hackers.
They're following him around. The New Zealand ISP allows its customers to subscribe to the US version of Netflix. How do you like that one? Now this mob over there, Slingshot, who is the local provider in New Zealand, wants to give its subscribers a little extra perk. It says the ISP just added a new global mode to its internet plans that allow its customers to access video services like Netflix and all that sort of stuff coming from the wrong country. So it's obviously going through a VPN, and it's popping out in New York apparently. And now this wouldn't be legal, would it? What's your opinion on this one, Jace? I don't think this would be against the terms of Netflix and the likes terms and conditions.
Well, according to latest figures, I think Netflix had something like 100,000 Australian users. I mean, they originally they wouldn't even accept credit cards from Australia, but they took that restriction off because money more important than holding up stupid rules about where you can broadcast what. So they're doing really well from it, and since they're supposed to be launching here next year, I don't think it really matters. A lot of people are happy to watch it, and they're unhappy with Uncle Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah. Well, that's good, but apparently it goes on to say apparently they've gone. We don't. This is Slingshot. Okay, this is how they're selling this product, or this is how they're getting around the possible illegalities of the whole scenario. They've come out with a statement and said, we don't want our guests being treated like second class citizens just because they are staying in New Zealand. Well, how do you like that? We want them to have the same rich online experiences as they do in their own country. Global mode lets them access their favourite international sites and services from home broadband connection. So I don't know about you, but if you're on holidays in New Zealand, who cares about the TV? You'd be out skiing or doing something, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Be out taking photos of .com's house or something. See if he's got any shows left behind. Well, you could go up there, couldn't you?
I'm sure
Get them all for free
have a nice
anyway.
VPN connection.
Well, you'd have a big library for free anyway.
Oh, Kimmy!
Yeah. What do you reckon about that, Steve? Are you back with us?
Am I back?
Yeah. Oh,
Hello?
yes. Did you?
Yay! I made it.
Did you hear that story?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well,
Now we lost him again.
Yeah, I think things are exploding in
Kim.com
Too exciting.
has been doing.
So you mentioned Kim.com and the feds moved in.
All right.
Wi-Fi is not a great thing.
Okay. So, well, what do
It's
you
always
reckon, Will?
it's just a grey area, isn't it, really? I mean,
It is.
the terms of service say, naughty, don't do it, but their bank account says, yes, please.
Yeah, but I mean, how legally binding are terms of service? I mean, realistically, they're not. The terms of service isn't a contract.
No, it's not a legal contract thing. It's just what we'd like you to do with our service. And if you do something else, well, we prefer if you didn't do it. And if we decide to come down on you, we've got some leverage for it. But
Well, it's a
if we
contract
don't
of
really
sorts.
care, then who matters?
It's a contract of sorts. Because
Well, an EULA is a contract because that's end user license, so that's affecting me specifically, and that I have to agree to that. But is hey, we'd like you to do this? That's not really a contract. You can't make somebody do something. I don't know. It's the problem is the law's written to support big business. So whatever big business want to do, they'll get away with anyway.
Yeah, but surely being your business, or being your business, you'd be able to dictate what goes on. And so like whether or not it's might or might not be in their terms, but there would be a EULA when you sign up, or some form of contract when you sign up. But in there somewhere, it's more than likely going to say you can't access this service, or whatever, outside the area or whatever. But I'm just saying that
It's up to them. It's up to them personally if they want to enforce it or not. They're not going to send G.I. Joe around to your place to blow you up for
That's right.
doing
That's-
something.
yeah,
Send the
exactly.
cops or lawyers after you because it's not really
I mean,
legality thing. It's just like we prefer you if you wouldn't do it. So
that's
don't
what
do
I
it,
mean.
but if you
It's
do-
not necessarily a legally binding contract. It might be a user contract and saying if to use this you have to do that. But I mean, it's not that I'm a great one to talk about law. But as far as I know, has anybody ever been
No.
sued for not following a EULA or like?
Yeah, but I know in business, everyone's got their terms and conditions, and that's what you both agree to before you enter into the contract of doing the work for the
Yeah, but the
person.
government agrees to do a lot of things and they don't either. So I figure, hey, if they don't do it, well, no one else has got to.
Yeah, talking about internet issues. Probably this I've just uncovered. Maybe the source of the problem. Tell me what you think.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, I know. Drum roll, please.
Chicken man.
Look
Wait,
what I got in the mail.
Yeah, you know who else got that? Evan's head got that. And then 2 days later, they got a mass publication saying, "No, sorry, that wasn't meant for you."
Now, what it was a card. It was like a big postcard from Telstra. On the front, it says, "Glenn, you're getting better broadband." So let's turn over and see what that's all about, hey? Hi, Glenn. Here's some good news. We've recently upgraded the broadband network in Robina. So you should be experiencing faster speeds even during peak usage hours of 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Guess what? Bum-bum. More good news is that we're giving you the 3 for free crap. All right, so there you go. Maybe they've twiggled with it, they've fiddled, they've twiddled, they've spat on it, they've cleaned up the connections. You know, they've put the stripped the wires with their teeth. They've reconnected everything. I haven't noticed any difference. But anyway, I think Steve's back with us live. Can we cross to Steve? Hey, you and Steve, Central Coast Steve.
Did I make it?
You have. Now, quick, while while the internet is good for us, now tell us what's happening. Show us your sword, so to speak. Thank you. That looks good.
Oh, it's a big one, isn't it?
That is shiny. Jeez. A lot of
And
people.
hard.
Oh, a lot of people like to get their hands on that, I bet.
It's like it's got a tattoo as well as.
All right. Now, Steve, tell us about what is that sword for? Or is it a sword? Do you call it a sword, or is it like a hacking... An axe. Yes, an axe.
Hacky thing.
An axe.
Hacky thing. The hacky sack.
It's a hacky thing.
The Queensland dictionaries out there.
The hacksaw.
What's my happy sack got to do with anything?
Just a little hacky sack thing. Now, okay, Steve, we'll give Steve the floor so his internet can hold out. Now, what is going on why have you got the sword/axe, please?
So it's the trophy for PayPal Battle Hack, which is happening at the end of this month, 26th and 27th of July. And basically, developers have to form teams. It is the video now. Developers form teams of 1 to 4 developers in a group, and they've got 24 hours to develop a community-based app using PayPal and Braintree APIs, SDKs. And at the end of that time, we have a panel of judges who judge their app and pick a winner, pick one of the best apps out of all the groups. And each one of them gets one of these amazing axes, and we take them over to San Jose for the World Finals.
Right.
Second place gets PlayStation 4, and third place gets Polaroid cameras. And there's heaps of other sort of prizes to win along the way, and lots of great food, and a lot of work goes into making one of these events, I can tell you.
Well, I'm sure. Now, do you get to go to San Jose? Is that part of the deal?
Yeah, I'll be taking the winners over from Sydney, and also we're running one in Singapore. It's the first time PayPal's run a hackathon in this part of the world for the APAC region. So
right.
Sydney's first, and then Singapore in September, and then World Finals in November. So yeah.
Yeah, nice work. And so you registered, got a lot of registrations and all this sort of stuff. It's all starting to come together.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of press, heaps of registrations. I'm doing talks all over Sydney. I've taken the axe with me to some of the meetups, which has been rather interesting. I'm probably one of the few, probably the only developer in Australia to have stood in front of PayPal Sydney a few days ago with an axe.
Yeah,
which was rather interesting.
Without the
Yeah, but
police
you're not the
getting
first
called.
person that's wanted to do that.
Well.
Now, so that sounds good. So just tell us again, when is that on again?
26th and 27th of July.
All right,
it's a Saturday, Sunday.
All right, so registration's all the way up to the event, or you got to pre-register beforehand?
Pre-register beforehand. Tickets are running out, so it's free to go to, and there'll be loads of great prizes and food and heaps of fun.
Right. So how do you have to bring your own device, like to do the coding on, or the devices there?
No, bring your own computer, laptop, holographic display, whatever you want to bring.
Yeah, nice. Good stuff. All right. Well, we'll remind everyone again next week, I suppose, as the time goes on. And hopefully we might be able to, you'll let us know who wins, and we can, get announce the winner as well. Like, well, not announce it, but just tell everyone who won it and what he done. So we'll have a little review of that when the time comes. So thanks, Steve. That's excellent. I'm glad your internet held out there as well. While all that.
Yay,
happened.
me too.
All right. Now let's try Jace. What have you been doing this week? Give us a story, please.
Well, posting to Facebook at 3 a.m. is rarely well considered or necessary, but what if there was a sober voice of reason tapping you on the shoulder and urging you to reconsider? That's the thinking behind a new technology some Sydney schools hope will forestall students making poor choices on social media while protecting others from bullies. Here's how it works. A student publishes something rude or insulting on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. It contains a blacklisted word or phrase, or it is posted at the time of day, 1 a.m. to 5 a.m., for example, deemed risky. The post is then stored while a student is sent a prompt alerting them to its offensive nature and urging them to reconsider. At this point, the student can delete the post, modify it, or ignore the warning completely and proceed as intended. The design is also working on an image function. Skin-colored pixels, for example, could indicate nudity, or the shape of guns and other weapons could be identified. In terms of brain development, teenagers don't have a filter until they're late teens, so it really is an electronic filter for them.
Oh, well, there you go. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah. Hi, you're a half-baked moron who I can't stand. Did you really want to post this? Yes.
At least you got a chance to consider it.
I don't like you, so that's why I'm posting it. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't something I just thought aloud. I actually want the world to see that I hate you.
What sort of phone's that?
You just know someone's going.
Are you really sure you hate this person that much?
Well, at least you don't have to do a mathematical equation. God forbid.
Looks like an Android something.
It's not Google,
No, it's a Windows phone.
There you go.
Hey, what? Who, what?
Oh, just on
In the
that little
picture.
Facebook graphic that came up there.
Got a Windows. Must be a Nokia or something. You can see the
Oh,
Windows.
a Nokia. What are you, American?
Yeah.
All right. Will give us
Nokia.
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 Nissan.
Give us a story, Will. What have you been finding out this week?
Alrighty, well, I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen you guys actually, but I bought the Chromecast, which is the device that you plug into your HDMI port on your TV, and you can share your screen. You can stream movies and things from your phone or from your computer to your TV. It's basically the most basic of entry level, I guess, media players or that sort of device you can get. The cool part is now they've actually just released the new update has included screen mirroring. So now what it means is that whatever you're displaying on your mobile device, you can now actually display on your TV as well. So there has been a bit of an issue previously. If you want to watch a movie from your phone or play back a video or photos, it's been a little bit painful. It's been possible. It's just been painful. But now with this setup, you can simply just go to the app, into the Chromecast app, and then you can do cast screen, and whatever's on your screen will display. So whether it's movies or pictures or whether you want to work on a document, you've got a Bluetooth keyboard and you've got, say, you're in a hotel room, you only need your Chromecast, your phone, and a Bluetooth keyboard, and you can now work on a full-size screen, sending emails and things like that.
So it will mirror into it and assume the size of the screen.
Yep.
Because with the Apple and the AirPlay, you can mirror your device, say your iPhone, but it comes up as a skinny, sort of like a phone image, if you know what I mean. Like it doesn't, and even if you turn it onto landscape, it still doesn't consume the full TV screen. It's still
no, because this device, the actual Chromecast, you set up to be the resolution of the TV. So if it's a 720 TV, you set the Chromecast to 720.
Right.
And because all new phones are displaying in really ridiculously high resolutions now anyway, whether it's 720 or it's 1024, whether it's even some of them are doing 4K now, on a 4K, sorry, Retina display or whatever it is. So, once you've set it up properly and you set it to your Chromecast, it knows the size of the screen, so it knows how to fill it up. At the moment, it's limited in release. They've only just released it for some of the Nexus, most of the Samsung Galaxy range, the S4 through S5, Note 3, Note 10, HTC ones, and the LG stuff. But the new update, which is coming out, I believe, at the end of this week, according if I get my reading this article correctly, will basically anything that's on the last sort of 2 versions or 3 versions of the Android operating system should work properly with this. So that's going to be neat because it's really going to change the way you're now able to use your mobile device.
When you said that you'd bought something new, I thought you were going to tell us you'd bought one of these things. Does anyone know? I'm just flashing a picture up of it.
Yes, although I know you're having say it as a joke, but my nephew just bought one.
Oh, look,
well, he's got two phones. He's got his normal day-to-day phone, which he uses his personal phone, which is the S5 or something.
Well, just before you go, let me just tell everyone that might be listening what this is. This is a BlackBerry Passport. That's what they've called it. And the unique thing, or the disturbing thing, or the funny thing about it, is it's almost square. It's 4.5 inches, 1400 by 1400 resolution. It's 90-degree corners and a giant size, 3.18 inch wide. It is bigger than the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. It has a physical QWERTY keyboard, which I can't get away from that. And beyond these physical features, little else is known about the device. It'll be officially launched in September this year before going on sale in 2015. So, yeah, sorry, Will, your little nephew, what's he doing?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't bought the Passport, but he's bought whatever the last of the ones were called. The one that had the full-size key or the full keyboard and stuff on it. But, I mean, he uses it for his work because it's, because they do. I don't know why, because they're more secure or who knows.
Right.
But so, yeah, he's still rocking the BlackBerry.
Oh, good to see someone.
By the look of it, Apple are not going to have to worry about you getting confused with iPad Mini or anything, right?
There's no lawsuit there, you reckon? That's all good?
I don't think so.
Take the keyboard off it, you might have
anybody
problems.
wants that design.
Now,
I had a phone that looked like that about, when was that? About 98, 99, I think I had a phone that looked like that. Wasn't it called a Palm Pilot or something?
I thought my little bloke had one of those little Elmo phones that look like that, actually. Now, what do you think of the BlackBerry, Steve? Are you got one?
I'm actually getting one through work soon, but it reminds me of, I don't know if anyone's, I know. I don't know if anyone's seen the full version of The Office, but they had a triangle tablet. I'm just getting an image to load now. Wait, let's see if that will work.
It never works.
Will that show it?
Hey, that's cool. I want one. Where do you get those? Can I have one?
They fit in your back
That's
pocket.
a Dunder Mifflin pyramid.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Someone get on that.
It looks too much like an iPad Air, I'm afraid.
Looks like something you want to throw. It's a triangular phone or triangular device, a triangle screen. That's weird. That is
It's
weird.
awesome.
How are you going to listen to that?
It'd be great for playing games. It'd be perfect.
Yeah, right. Good stuff.
Well,
So,
remember the old remember the old Engage, the Taco, the original one. I love that thing. That was great.
I've actually still got one kicking around here somewhere. Still use it for.
Didn't you have to take the battery out to change game chips or something?
Yeah,
You did.
You take the battery out to reset it half the time too.
Yeah.
so
And the games came on little 8 meg cards.
And then Nokia did this other one that was similar, but it folded differently, and it was really bizarre.
Now tell me. So when you get a BlackBerry for work, Steve, so that means you're going to have two, or you're going to migrate into the BlackBerry and become.
No, I'm gonna have 2.
Yeah, right.
No, definitely keeping. Yeah, I'm keeping the Android.
Yeah, right. All right.
Wise words, my friend. Wise words.
Yeah. Now, Jace, what else have you got? What else did you find for us this week?
Oh, scientists at Massachusetts Institute of Technology are developing an audio reading device to be worn on the index finger of people whose vision is impaired, giving them affordable and immediate access to printed words. The so-called finger reader, a prototype produced by a 3D printer, fits like a ring on the user's finger, equipped with a small camera that scans text.
Wow.
A synthesized voice reads the words aloud, quickly translating books, restaurant menus, and other needed materials for daily living, especially away from home or office. Reading is as easy as pointing a finger at the text. Special software tracks a finger movement, identifies words, and processes the information. The device has vibration motors that alert readers when they stray from the script. Says Roy Silcrott, who is developing the device at MIT Media Lab. The finger reader can read papers, books, magazines, newspapers, computer screens, and other devices, but it has a problem with touch text on a touch screen, he said. That's because touching the screen with the tip of the finger would move the text around, producing unintended results. Disabling the touchscreen function eliminates the problem. Vario said the affordable pricing could make the finger reader a key tool to help people with vision impairment integrate into modern information economy.
Now, the only
Fantastic.
potentially problem I see with that is that, depending on how blind the person would be, but how would you know where the next line is? You know,
I did wonder about that, but extra text that I didn't put in our show notes says that it will beep at the start of a word, and where the words start, and if you go off the track or a bit down the page or something, then it'll beep and you move your finger back up, and it'll let you know that you're back on track again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That sounds like a good idea. That's a good idea. And now, if you were to buy one of these, you could get it sent and to the new 24/7 parcel lockers. Have you guys heard of these?
Yep.
Yeah, they got some near work.
You got some down the road.
Yeah, right. So what happens here? Let me get this going. So these are it's a big bank of lockers, and Australia Post will put your parcel in there. They're accessible 24/7. So far, at only around about 140 locations around Australia. Self-service parcel collection. Get your parcel when it suits you. Free registration. You can also register for lockers at different locations. Private, secure. They'll text and email you a unique code that you use to access your particular locker. And it's easy to use. You just register. You shop on eBay or wherever with PayPal and collect. So what you do is when you're putting in your address, you just put it in as your name, parcel locker number 1234, and the address of the actual place, and then that parcel will get delivered and popped into that locker. You get a text, you got to come down and pick it up. Now, if you don't pick it up, you get 48 hours to pick it up. If you don't pick it up, they will send it to the nearest, your normal street address, nearest parcel collection spot. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, I don't know. There's none near me. Oh, there's a couple near me, but, too far away for me to go to, like 5K away or something. So it doesn't really suit me, but I don't know. So, Will, you've seen
Do
it.
you actually own it like a post box or something, do you, rather than just have a bunch of
No,
lockers
you
that
just rent it. You just rent it for that period of time. Once your
that's
parcel
what I
turns
mean,
up into
though.
Yeah.
Oh, then it goes to somebody else.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
It's only while you've got that particular parcel turning up that it goes in there. And there's the ones at Ipswich are a little bit different to the one you're showing there. They actually send you a QR code that you can hold up on your phone, hold up in front of the camera, and it pops the locker open. That's great, except there's 12 of them for the entire Ipswich CBD, which was fantastic. And I mean, to be honest, you read most of eBay's policies, and most people don't ship to post office boxes anyway, so they're not going to be able to ship to those.
Yeah, I had that problem. One of my friends over in Western Australia sent me a USB key that was completely empty and cost him nothing. It was given to him, and I gave my home address to send it to, and the courier guy turned up there and he said, "I can't leave it here because you have to sign for it." I said, "Well, does it say you have to sign?" He said, "No, that they didn't tick must sign, and they didn't tick doesn't matter if they sign, so we have to assume that you have to sign for it." I said, "Well, just leave it there and I'll take responsibility if it's lost." Nope. Can't do that. Couldn't deliver it to post office box or anything. I had to get him to bring it right into the city and get somebody to sign for it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And the other problem with them is, I mean, let's face it, Australia Post is dying, and it's their own fault that they're dying. Instead of being smart enough to adapt and overcome and get with the program like normal,
Sounds like media.
Well, I think this is...
well, that's right.
I think that's a good idea. If eBay will post to it, that's a good idea.
Well, is it? I mean, I just prefer to get it sent to work, and I haven't got to go and get it. I mean, it is. The thing is, though, they're only fairly limited size. So if it's still a big, bulky item, you're still going to have the same problem you had before.
But see, I had the problem just the other week when I was getting my little
that thing delivered,
my little PayPal here thing, and they came and I wasn't home, and I rang them up and I said, "Can you deliver it to the nearest post office?" No, has to go to some post office like 15k away. So if I had this locker thing, they could have just popped it into the locker. I could have gone over at midnight if I wanted to, and popped it out. But
you're assuming they'd send it to a PO box.
Well, it's not a PO box; it's a locker. But in this
case,
they're
classed as a PO box. Well, if you fill the details out like online or through PayPal or whatever, it classifies it as a PO box because that's its closest classification.
I can see the dilemma there, but in this instance, in this case,
it would have worked.
No, well, it came by Star Trek, which is now owned by Australia Post, so it would have worked in this instance. But yeah, I know what you're saying. And
I mean, don't get me. The concept's great. I think unless they're going to roll them out to more or less every country, every town, every district has a lot of them. And as I said, there's 12 for the entire Ipswich CBD. So the chances of actually getting one when you want one is virtually impossible.
Yeah. It's free to register. So like, if you're a person that's never at home and you're getting something sent to you, well, try and get it sent to this thing, and we'll see how you go anyway. All right, we'll keep going with what you've got. Have you got anything?
Me? You want me to do something? All right, fine. I'll do something. It's interesting, we talk about astronauts and how the space race and all the things and technological advances and everything like that. There's a guy, his name is George Ulrich, and he's been employed for the last 40 years. And his entire job is smelling things.
Nice.
Now, you may wonder why. Well, the thing is, okay, on Earth, when we get a bad smell, we open a window. If you're in a space station or on a shuttle, that's not advised.
No.
You generally can't just, go and open a window.
And why is that, Bill?
Well, okay, it will get rid of the smell. That's not, that part of it will work fine. But basically what he does, it's his job to every single thing that goes in that shuttle, whether it's with, the hoses they put in, the computers they put in, all the metalwork, everything they put in, what the astronauts are wearing, what science experiments are going on board, you name it, every single thing that goes onto that has to be smelt, and this guy has to smell test it, because if there's a noxious fume or a chemical release of some description, as I said, you can't just open a window and get rid of it. So they've got to be able to do it. But it's just fascinating with all this technology and all these advances that we have. There's still a guy there who spends his entire life sniffing things. Like, it's fascinating.
What happens to smells?
I mean, in this kind of condition, you should keep off the cabbages and onions.
What,
yeah, well, that's probably.
What happens to smells, Will, in a space shuttle? Do they dissipate? They must. They still must.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
in
they
an
do.
elevator.
Well, they do. I mean, they've got their filtration systems, and they've got their, the charcoal canisters, and they've got all the recirculation stuff. But there's still that period of time where it's still going to be within the shuttle before it goes through the filtration system. So if it's a noxious fumes, if it's hazardous or dangerous, you're SOL, because you can't just, you can't get away from it. You have to wait for it to go away.
Now,
no.
Sorry, but I don't understand that lingo. What is SOL?
Out of luck.
Oh, AOL.
Strangely out of luck.
Okay.
Sarcastically out of luck.
The one thing I still find unusual is you can't taste anything in space, apparently.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, there you go. No,
I would have thought.
apparently
I would
No,
have
but
thought
it's why.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's because their food's so flavorful.
Well, maybe
You probably don't want to.
maybe it's the oxygen that. Oh no, there's be oxygen up there, wouldn't there? So
Yeah, there's oxygen. You'd want to hope so. The problem if there's not.
Queensland science rules.
Hey, it's but it's yeah. I don't know how that'll work, because you've still got you've still got moisture in the air. Obviously, you've still got oxygen. You've still got the smell. So I don't know how you couldn't have a taste, unless you just so naturally, like being on an airplane. They reckon if you're on an airplane, you can't taste food very well because the air's so dry all the time.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go. Well, I won't be going up to test it out. I know that. But
Yeah, 'cause they got no oxygen there.
no,
I'm not going to space. There's no air there.
no, that's right. That's right.
Reminds me of that question I saw on Yahoo Answers where this girl is going, we've landed on the moon and stuff. Do you think we'll ever land on the sun? And somebody is like, well, it'd probably have to be at night time, because then it wouldn't be so hot. And she's like, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
idea.
you've only got a 12-hour window.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, what a hurry. All right, now talking about no oxygen. Windows 7 deadline looms. Yes, we're talking about this already, are we? Ooh, dun dun dun. That's right. Well, Windows 7. It only just seems like yesterday our little friend came out, but no, it's come out a long time ago. Microsoft will stop providing what is called mainstream support for all versions of Windows 7 next year, January 13. But as noted by the ZNet's Mary J. Foley, this doesn't mean Microsoft will stop issuing security updates for Windows 7 as it did for Windows XP just a little while back, if you can remember. What this means is once a mainstream support ends, Windows 7 will enter what is known as extended support. There's all these different adjectives supports, isn't there? Which usually lasts for 5 years. During this period, customers will get free security updates for Windows 7, but they'll have to pay for bug fixes and for phone and online support. Microsoft will still provide free security updates for Windows 7 until January 14, 2020. So
that's okay. They might have a usable operating system by then.
Yeah, now, Will, that's what you're using. Now you need to go.
Yeah,
you need to go to Windows 8.
No, as I said, every second one's good. So Windows 7, so it'll be whatever they bring it after Windows 8, I'll switch to. Or I'll go to Linux, either way.
My guess is 9.
They'll do something stupid. It'll be like 8.4.7 revision 3 or something.
What about 8S? No?
Yeah, the sports edition, yeah.
8X? No.
It goes really fast for a short period of time, then it breaks down.
Microsoft, and also while we're on the subject of Microsoft, will also move all versions of Windows Server 2008 and 2008 2 into extended support next January, along with all versions of Server to Windows Storage Server. So meanwhile, the next big looming support deadline for small business is 14th of July next year, when Microsoft will cease all security updates for Server 2003. So there you go.
Geez, okay, they're going to have to release Server 2014 or something soon,
yeah, I was
right?
going to say,
they're on 2012 R2.
Yeah, that's the latest, isn't it?
They're overdue for that. Don't they normally have the server versions out, and by the time they've been out for a couple of years, then they start to drop the old ones?
Well, I think what is this this addiction to the years? Like, I think Apple's got the right idea. Like Mavericks and Snow Leopards and everything. No one knows what year they come out, and therefore they don't date, do they? Like, you go up to the guy on the street and say, "Oh yeah," or you say, "I'm using Snow Leopard." He goes, "Oh yeah, that's pretty new." Yeah. So and if you went up to him and said, "Oh yeah,"
we've had about 3 since then.
Yeah, I know, but realistically, what Snow Leopard was only out no more than 4 years ago, which to the man in the street is like that's recent. That's just,
but I mean, Windows stopped doing that really, like in trackable like that. Once XP, that was their last trackable one.
Yes,
maybe it'll be Windows Server 8.1.
Yeah, well, but their server stuff's always been a little bit weird, though.
Yeah, true. But see what Bill Gates is up to. Well, talking of this sort of stuff, he's created a wireless, or he's encouraging, and apparently is there a prototype? But a wireless contraceptive. So get that one into you.
Where do you put the antenna?
Now, the device developed by Microchips, an offshoot of MIT, is an implant under a woman's skin, delivering a small dose of levonorgestrel hormone into the body. Now, while contraceptive implants have been around for some time, the new chip differs in 2 important ways. First, it's longer lasting, and current hormone implants have to be changed every 3 to 4 years, whereas Microchip's implant can remain in place for 16 years. Wow.
And it's probably hackable too, so if she's in a bad mood, you can just turn it on a bit extra.
You probably could.
Might settle it down a bit.
Yeah. Or what happens well, imagine all the lawsuits when she told me her chip was turned on and it wasn't. Now I've got all these kids. What am I going to do with this?
You can see,
can't you? Does the chip turn on when she turns on?
Yeah. Or is it
turned
control?
On being the operative word?
Now, when a woman...
It's done by Facebook status.
Yeah.
Are you sure you wanted to post that?
Well, what happens if it BSODs, like blue screen of death?
There's only 2 outcomes and neither of them are good.
No, that's right. No. When a woman wants to get pregnant, the device can be turned off via remote control.
Who's got the remote control? That's what I want to know.
That's right.
No, seriously, who has? I mean, there's the age-old battle of women deliberately getting pregnant to make the guy pay for child support and stuff like that. Well, fine, but with this chip, it doesn't stop that because now it's even easier to do it. And the thing is, who has control? Do you have to go to the doctor and get it reset, or is it something you can just switch on and off whenever you feel like it? Or
Yeah, what's the go?
I don't know. They seem pretty difficult to turn on for me.
the chip? I mean,
You can't just switch it on and off like that, man. It
Not like
can
a
take
license.
hours sometimes.
I wonder if it's battery operated.
So, you mean with the Facebook status, if a boyfriend says going to the girlfriend's to get some tonight, then it switches on?
and the father
And
controls
more
it.
importantly, what of upgrades?
Well,
Are they going to version control them?
yeah.
Is that your girlfriend or the chip?
All right.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
So Bill likes to be at the forefront of all the technology, so he's out there and he's fighting a good cause. Now, Jace, what else have you got for us, please? In your
How does
kit of
free
stories?
transportation in a stranger's car sound? That's what new ride-sharing app called Ride Surfing is offering as
Another
it
one.
publicly launches in Sydney to compete with the Google-backed Uber. Rides are free and without expectation for reward, the website says. If you prefer, you may give a donation. We compute an appropriate suggested donation based on time and distance. Offering a donation mechanism rather than asking passengers to pay for a fee at the end of each trip appears to be designed to skirt around state laws, which might prevent the app from existing. When Uber launched UberX, which offers similar ride-sharing service, the New South Wales government's Roads and Maritime Service said that if payment was accepted, drivers in cars needed to be appropriately accredited and authorised by RMS, and they were not. RMS has said, however, that the laws did not apply to, for example, a group of friends sharing expenses or a carpooling arrangement between colleagues sharing a ride to the office. That's where ride surfing comes in and where its founders claim that its passengers are part of a community. As one driver recently told him when testing the service, we're your friend. It's because we're a donation-based community that we're within the boundaries of the law. Manatu DuPont, the 33-year-old co-founder of ride surfing, claimed in an interview.
Well,
What they forgot to mention there was the working title for that program was called "Kidnappers Are Us."
but what's the point? Who's making money? What's going on? Why would
Well,
someone want
they
to
really encourage you to pay some money for it. They're just not saying that you have to, because RMS can then give them a $1,500 fine for ferrying passengers around.
Yeah,
But we'd talked about, the reason I brought this up specifically was we'd talked about Uber before, and you'd said, would I try out Uber? And I said no, because I didn't want to hop in random stranger's dodgy car or whatever. But that was before I realized, after reading an article recently, the different types of Uber services they've got. So I've listed it here. The black car, this is Uber's original service. Choosing a black car will send a high-end sedan to your location with seating for up to 4 people. And sometimes they give you a free bottle of water, cold water and stuff to drink. Taxi, this is called a taxi that has an agreement with Uber. The taxis are much like any normal taxi, except for you pay through the app. So you might get your silver service.
Well, that's different
or
from what you normally pay
taxis
through.
or whatever. Yeah, but apparently a lot of taxis actually like this much better than their other booking services, and so do passengers, of course. UberX, this sends the everyday car to your location with up to 4 people. It's a budget one. And Lux, this will send a high-end luxury car to your location with seating for up to 4 people. It's their most expensive service, but you get luxury
and so
cars.
if you're a real pig, you wouldn't donate. You'd get the free ride.
Well, the ride surfing one, no. But eventually people get rated, so you have an account there. And if you've not paid like 4 times, they can rate you as a bastard. And then nobody will want to pick you up when you try and hail one. They'll just say, well, we're not going to go with him
But
because
that-
he's never, ever going to donate. Whereas this other bloke at least gave me $10.
But that's just like a payment. So if you're going to rate people that aren't donating, that's just like that's.
But we're
pay-
not saying you have to.
No,
We
but
just won't pick you up if you don't.
oh, that's
Just
dodgy.
make sure you change the name every time you use it.
Yeah, yes.
Bob 1, Bob
Have
2,
you guys
Bob
has everyone used Uber?
No.
nobody.
Nah.
Have you?
Nobody, just me.
And how's
Yeah,
it going?
I use it quite regularly, but
Which one do you use?
it's really good. I've used both when I was down in Melbourne on for some events. We had free Uber Black transfers and stuff. So and I used on Monday, actually going around Parramatta, I used the regular Uber. So but Braintree's baked right into it. So all the payments are handled through Braintree.
Right. Now you know a little bit about Braintree. What is that? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, well, most haven't because it's baked in sort of behind the scenes, so you won't see it. It basically allows for user to create a profile inside an app, so developers can set up allow users to set up a profile and then attach a credit card to that, and then just continually transact. So Beat the Queue, Minecraft, Uber, they've all got it built in, so you don't. Yep. So Minecraft payments are all done when you buy your subscription. That's all done through Braintree.
Yeah, nice.
Well,
nice.
I need to know about this. Let's talk.
Magic word.
Funnily enough, when my son found out that that Braintree's got the payments for that as well, he was like, "Oh wow, we need to go see Notch." I'm like, "Yeah, no."
Yeah, let's just go and knock on his door. That's fine.
Yeah. So okay. So Braintree, we're going to be hearing more about that, or we won't, as consumers, probably hear that. This is just the back end sort of a payment platform, is it? So we're not going to know. You
won't know you using it, but there is a new product that just got released. Actually, very early hours of this morning. I woke up this morning and there was all these big press releases, and the product that had finally been in beta for a few weeks. Like we've been using it internally for a little while. It got released this morning. The V.0 is what it's called. Very fancy, sort of techie, geeky Uber name. But it's basically a new payment method similar to your PayPal. It basically creates like a seamless transaction section inside a website. So very easy to integrate, very easy to plug new payment methods in. In the US, PayPal's baked right into it. So this is where PayPal and Braintree are being sort of joined together.
Right. Yeah,
you could offer it as well. Glenn, it says Braintree works with most leading e-commerce and billing platforms, including Shopify, Magento, and Woohoo.
Yeah,
I'm sure that will be coming through cPanel.
Yeah, right. Well, Magento goes bit the dust.
Yeah,
as we said last week. So that's finished. What happened with that? You know,
it has.
That was.
I don't obviously know any official word. Anyway, I found out about it was through the media as well. So
yeah, just wasn't making money.
Maybe the change of strategy. I'm not too sure. I can't comment.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
No comment.
So obviously,
no comment.
He's practicing to be a politician.
But obviously, yeah. So if anyone's got Magento Go site, well, you're going to have to move off it. I think it closes February 15 or something next year. So have to look for something.
I didn't know that was an eBay program.
Yeah, look, it wasn't.
Yeah, they bought it.
Bought
it in 2011.
Right, so they really ran that one into the ground. So that was no good.
Well, they've just bought Gumtree and they've already put PayPal on Gumtree and they've started bumping up the fees. So let's see how long that hangs around too.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, you know, there's apparently if you're on a Magento Go, you can get there's a big e-commerce or something there out there. You would have got an email from them, and they would have linked you across to this other mob that you can just apparently seamlessly migrate to. So if you're on one of those platforms, but other than that, the community edition of Magento is still going. It's just the hosted version. All right, Will, you can have another story if you like.
Oh, can I just? That's very considerate of you, sir.
I'm like that.
Mine now.
Yeah, you know how I'm always one for weird stories and things of potential possibilities for future products. Well, Electrolux has just had their Design Lab 2014. Their semi-finalists reveal their ideas for the home of the future. So there's a few interesting little ideas there. You can go through and read, but the first one is called Set to Mimic, and what it is, it's a tablet or a sort of a chemical that tricks your brain into thinking you're eating what you think you're eating. So instead of eating, say you don't like your peas and carrots and stuff, if you think you're eating, a hamburger, then you'll be eating a hamburger.
So this is a pill.
These are the sort of the home of the future sort of things. There's some that.
Yeah. So how are they going to trick you? Is it what is it?
It's chemically. It's done chemically.
Jeez, that's got to be good for you.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah, the governments and chemicals. There's never a problem there.
Nah.
there's home purification now. So just being a big ugly box that's sitting in the corner, they're thinking about ways of integrating it. In this case, it's done like a lotus leaf. It uses UV light and things like that to help purify the air. So they're starting to just make things a little bit done. This one's interesting. I don't ever actually think it'd work, but it's interesting. It's called the U bubble, and basically there's like giant floating fish bowls, and you just put random bits of food in them. So you've got apples in one and bananas in another one and fish in another one.
Wow.
And it tells you on it what it is and what the temperature is and when it's best used by and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's neat, but I'd say it's getting up to the fridge.
How do they float?
Hassle.
How are they floating? Do you know?
Anti-gravity devices. Who knows? I don't know. I didn't read that much.
You can have a ball with those.
This one's the flying personal bartenders. So once again, instead of having to get up and go and get yourself more plastered, they'll come to you. Once your drink's empty, they fly over to the bar, make your favorite drink, and fly back, and you haven't even got to get up to do it. So I'm in voting for that one to be designed first, and then they can work on the rest later.
Yeah.
So this one's aromatherapy shower. It's as the name suggests, invigorating shower of aromatherapy. So it's sort of a normal shower, but it has different. It makes the whole room sort of like a holographic projection, where it immerses you into the forest or whatever you happen to be in at the time.
Yeah, right.
Not sure about this one. It's called the Sphere, the AMO Sphere. It's a sphere of pure air in which you interact with holograms and wear very strange clothes. There was a movie done on that a while back about, I can't think of what it's called, but you had an avatar basically that it wasn't Avatar. There was another one, I think. But you lived inside effectively a little cocoon, and your avatar went out and went to work for you and did all the things you would do in a day-to-day,
Cool.
day-to-day office. But that's sort of something that's getting there a little bit more. That's just for some of the ideas for virtual games that they're coming up with. It's all holographic projection stuff. It's getting pretty neat. This one here is actually a good idea. It's a antibacterial, instantly cleaning glove. So it's antibacterial. Obviously, keeps using nanotechnology, keeps the gloves clean all the time. So you can go and pat a dog or whatever, and you don't have to worry about it. Nice. Again, with the whole inside entertainment thing, apparently there's a theme. They don't want you to go outside. This one's clean action. Hero could be the perfect game for the germophobic family. So apparently the whole idea now is to keep the family inside and never let them go outside ever again. Because who needs fresh air?
This is just all fantasy. This is fantasy.
But this is my favorite one. This is called Robotic Jaws, or Persera. And it's for those who want, I love the caption, for those who want cyborg piranhas sucking on the dirty undies. Basically, right. What it is, it's a fishbowl populated by tiny robotic fish that have digital cameras on them that can see the dirt, and they actually go around and they actually eat the dirt off the clothes that are in there.
Dear, dear. How many are there, Will?
There's only a couple more, but that one was actually my favourite one, was the dirty fish one. The other one's what do I call it? A peddler. But it's how we got the Roombas and the robotic vacuum cleaners and stuff like that. It's the same sort of deal, but it's an air purifier. So if you've got a cat, it follows the cat around the house and stops the fur and stuff from giving you allergies. So yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Well, looks like Samsung has announced it's going to stop the production of plasma TVs. They're finished. And I think a few other companies have also stopped. I think, is it someone still doing it? Who is it? What's that bloody name of them? I can't think of that, but LG. I think they're still doing it. It said that falling demand meant it would insist focus on producing curved and ultra-high definition TVs. Plasma screens which use electrically charged ionized gases are often applauded for their brightness, deep blacks and high frame rate rates, considered ideal for watching sports and films, but they tend to use more electricity and are considerably bulkier than the now more popular LCDs. So there you go. So plasmas, I think I've got a couple of plasmas. So that'll be. I like them. I liked them better, actually. Yeah. I did like them better than the LCDs, but I think the LCDs have got.
They help keep the house warm in winter.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with my plasma. I have the media center hanging off the back of it, and it gets a little toasty. But It's good. As you say, they're much deeper picture, and the blacks are, I've got an LCD TV, and the black's got nothing compared to the plasma that I've got.
But anyway, once again, it's the old thing, isn't it? It's not what's best. It's just what, I don't know, people.
Well, I guess plasma's seen as the old technology now because it was sort of the step up from the CRTs. Plasma became the de facto replacement. There were other options, and so I guess if you think about it, plasma's 10-year-old now or even more. So
it must be. Yeah, it must be.
So they've reached their end of life, and now with everybody being so power conscious, and speaking of which, we just got a power bill notice of increase of rate, so our power bill is going to go up, $20 odd bucks a week, $25 a week, just because they can. Yeah. So I think with that happening, people are more
carbon tax.
Well, do you know what I reckon it is? What I reckon's going on, because I got the same letter. Then they said the daily charge is going up. The daily admin charge, whatever you want to read the meter charge or whatever.
Yeah.
It was 50 cents. It's going up to 99 cents or something. So So what's happening? And this is what's
and the
happening.
Admin charge is going up.
Yeah. So what's happening is, yes, the carbon tax is going to come off it, but nothing's going to come down. They're not going to lose any money because they've doubled the price of all the admin charges, and for some nong to come around and read your meter. How many meters?
Well, that's a separate charge again.
Because they blocked it.
Yeah, well, but I mean that's not even like the daily charge is the supposed service charge that allows them to put the pole out in front of your house. Like that's supposed to go to maintenance of that pole in front of your house, all those wires in front of your house, theoretically. But how come suddenly within this period of time it suddenly costs them $1 now a day to keep those lines there?
That's the reason why it started going up years ago. Was because they were saying, we got to put the thing up because the network is all busted up. We need to raise more money to improve it. And then it's busted
up because they decided to pocket all the money instead of putting it back into their infrastructure, which is what they're supposed to do.
That's right.
Well, it'll all come out in the wash once they privatize it. It'll fix it up really well.
Yeah.
We can't make it any worse.
No. Get us off this subject, Jace, please. It annoys me. Power's so high.
Hey, there's some places that are privatized. I believe it's Finland, where there's one sole provider. I could be wrong. I think it's Finland. But there's one sole provider, and the sole provider actually does power, water, and communications. The one provider does the whole lot, and they've got one of the best systems in the world. They're the cheapest, and they're the most reliable, and they're the fastest internet.
Yeah, right. Well,
so
let's all move over there. Jace, last story, please.
Researchers in Barcelona are changing the way we think about GPS. For the past 2 decades, GPS users have been moving from A to B via the most direct way possible. Now, Danielle Chiasia, a researcher at Yahoo Labs, has engineered a piece of technology to direct users the most beautiful way. The goal of this work is to automatically suggest routes that are not only short, but also emotionally pleasant. While motorists may still be more interested in the fastest route, the technology could have significant implications for pedestrians, particularly tourists. Yes.
Yeah, you can see it now. It takes you to work via the pub.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Via the strip mall.
Gee, that'll really put you on the map.
Although I have to actually, it's funny you mentioned GPS. Our GPS at work in the truck just started going Burko today. You'd put in an address, and it would send you in the complete opposite direction, like literally, not just in a roundabout way. It would actually send you the exact same distance in the complete opposite direction of where you're supposed to be going.
It's like the TARDIS. It's sending you where you should be going, not where you think you want to go.
Oh, it was just bizarre.
You know what it was? Someone had one of those chips, one of those birth control chips in.
That too.
Well, I was trying to go through the tunnel, I suppose.
Well, there you go. There you go. All right, let's get out of here. It's getting worse, isn't it? All right.
Well, it can only get worse. It never gets better.
True. All right, so thanks for joining us, everyone. Hopefully, it looks like the video is recorded this week, so there'll be a video on YouTube. You can catch us live at aussietechheads.com.au/live, and also facebook.com/AussieTechHeads, and you can also get apps of the day, free iOS apps for that day only. Otherwise, you've got to pay for them if you don't hurry up and get them. And Jace also puts up the Android apps of the day as well. He goes through his Androids, I go through the iOS, and we both put our respective apps up that we think are good for the day. And don't forget the AussieTechRadio.com, 24/7 Tech Radio, Shoutcast. Jump on that AussieTechRadio.com. It'll tell you how to listen to it, whether it be on the website, whether it be on your phone, or whatever else you might have. One of those triangle tablets, maybe. You might have one of those things going. So,
and don't forget, you know I've got to do it. Don't forget, you go to obsidianloft.com and check out our Minecraft podcast there as well.
That's all right. Yeah, Obsidian Loft. You better spell that. You better spell that every week because people can't spell Obsidian. It sounds like a vacuum cleaner.
OBSIDIAN. Obsidian. It's a rock. Look it up.
Yeah, it must be. Did you see that Facebook post? I had a receipt. I bought a vacuum cleaner. It was Obsidian Black.
Yeah, that was cool.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
We'll collect the royalties later too. By the way.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, Steve, for coming on. Good to talk to you again. And good luck with Battle Hack.
Thank you.
And we'll should catch up with you soon. So yeah, thanks for doing that. And Will and Jace, thanks for coming on. And we'll see you guys next week as well.
See you then.
No worries, sir. Thank you.
Don't forget the show notes at aussietechheads.com.au. Also the YouTubes at youtube.com/AussieTechHeads. All right. Until next week, it's have a good week. It's bye from all of us. Bye.